Suddenly, your life feels smaller. Is Instagram's most profitable feature. The algorithm prioritizes attractive faces. It never feels like you're winning. You keep scrolling because the next comparison is already waiting. You open Instagram for 5 minutes. That's the lie you tell yourself. One reel turns into another. A perfect body. A luxury apartment you didn't know existed. Someone your age announcing a life update from a private jet. You're not jealous exactly, but something tightens in your chest. Suddenly, your life feels smaller. Your progress feels slower. Your body, your money, your relationships all quietly start to feel not enough. And here's the uncomfortable question no one asks. Why do you feel worse after scrolling through an app that's supposed to entertain you? That feeling, it's not weakness. It's not low confidence, and it's definitely not accidental. It's engineered, because insecurity isn't a side effect of Instagram, it's the product. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why your self-doubt is Instagram's most profitable feature, the real product of Instagram. Instagram doesn't sell photos, it doesn't sell videos, and it doesn't sell connection. Instagram sells attention, and the people buying that attention aren't creators, they're advertisers. Every time you see a sponsored post, a perfectly placed product, or an ad that feels creepily relevant, that's Instagram doing its real job. Brands pay billions of dollars for access to your eyes, your emotions, and your time, which means you're not the customer, you're the product. But here's what most people miss. Attention alone isn't valuable unless it can be held. And nothing holds attention better than emotion, especially uncomfortable emotion. Because happy people don't scroll for hours. Satisfied people don't refresh their feed. People who feel complete don't chase validation through a screen. Calm is bad for business. But insecurity? That's profitable. When you see someone with a better body, a more exciting life, or success that feels just out of reach, your brain starts comparing automatically. You don't choose it. It happens before logic kicks in. And comparison creates tension. That tension keeps you scrolling. Instagram's algorithm learns exactly what triggers that feeling in you. Not in general, in you specifically. What faces you linger on? What lifestyles make you feel behind? What kind of success makes you question yourself? Then, it feeds you more of it. Over time, this creates a pattern I call the insecurity loop. You scroll, you compare. You feel slightly inadequate. You stay longer, hoping the next post will make you feel better. It rarely does. And the longer you stay inside that loop, the more valuable you become, not as a person, but as inventory. What exactly is the insecurity loop? It's not one dramatic moment where Instagram suddenly makes you feel bad about yourself. It's much quieter than that. It's a system made of small, psychological nudges that repeat over and over again until they feel normal. And most people never notice it happening in real time. The loop works in 4 stages, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. The first stage is exposure. When you open Instagram, you're not being shown an average version of real life. You're being shown the most extreme, eye-catching version of it. The algorithm prioritizes attractive faces, luxury homes, expensive vacations, and success stories that look effortless and fast. That's not because everyone lives this way. It's because ordinary life doesn't hold attention very well. Normal routines, average incomes, and messy in-between phases don't make people stop scrolling. So over time, those posts get quietly suppressed, while the most polished and exaggerated lifestyles rise to the top of your feed. Without realizing it, Your brain starts to treat this distorted highlight reel as reality. The second stage is comparison. This part is automatic. You don't choose to compare yourself. Your brain does it for you. Humans evolved to measure themselves against others as a way to understand their place in a group. Instagram takes that natural instinct and turns it into a constant competition. You start comparing your body to people who are genetically gifted, filtered, and professionally lit. You compare your income to lifestyles funded by sponsorships, debt, or years of unseen work. You compare your real relationship to someone else's perfectly edited moments. And because Instagram shows you thousands of these comparisons every week, it never feels like you're winning. The third stage is emotional discomfort. This is the most dangerous part of the loop because it doesn't feel extreme. You're not depressed. You're not miserable. You just feel slightly behind, like you should be further along by now. Like everyone else has figured something out that you missed. Like you're working hard, but somehow still not enough. That low-level insecurity creates restlessness. It's uncomfortable, but not uncomfortable enough to make you leave the app. In fact, it does the opposite, which leads to the fourth stage, coping through scrolling. Instead of closing Instagram, your brain looks for relief inside the same place that caused the discomfort. You keep scrolling, hoping for something entertaining, relatable, or validating that will smooth out the feeling. And for a moment, it works. You get a small dopamine hit, a funny reel, a post that feels seen. The anxiety fades just enough to keep you there, but it never lasts because the next comparison is already waiting. Exposure turns into comparison. Comparison turns into discomfort. Discomfort turns into more scrolling, and the loop resets. This isn't an accident. It's a retention machine designed to keep you engaged as long as possible. The longer you stay in the loop, the more predictable your behavior becomes, and the more valuable your attention is to advertisers. That's the insecurity loop. And once you understand it, you realize Instagram isn't just showing you content. It's shaping how you feel, minute by minute, scroll by scroll. Why the algorithm prefers insecurity. So now the question becomes obvious. If the insecurity loop is so powerful, why does the algorithm lean into it so hard? The answer is uncomfortable, but simple. Because insecurity keeps people engaged longer than confidence ever could. Instagram's algorithm isn't evil, and it isn't emotional. It doesn't care how you feel when you close the app. It only measures behavior, how long you stay, how often you interact, and how frequently you come back. From the algorithm's perspective, confidence is inefficient. When people feel good about themselves, they log off. They live their lives. They don't need validation from a screen. But insecurity creates tension, and tension demands resolution. When you feel slightly behind, slightly inadequate, or slightly unsure, your brain starts searching for something to fix that feeling. Instagram becomes the easiest place to look. You don't even think about it. Your thumb just keeps moving. The algorithm notices this pattern immediately. It learns what kind of content makes you pause, what makes you watch twice, what makes you save, comment, or linger just a second longer. And over time, it starts prioritizing content that triggers emotional reactions over content that simply informs or entertains. This is why extremes perform better than balance. Extremely attractive faces get more attention than normal ones. Extreme success stories outperform realistic progress. Luxury lifestyles outperform stability and moderation, not because they're healthier, but because they create comparison. And comparison keeps you engaged. Instagram also tracks emotional volatility. Content that makes you feel something strongly, excitement, envy, admiration, or self-doubt, keeps you on the platform longer than content that leaves you calm. Calm doesn't scroll. Emotional arousal does. That's why the algorithm slowly nudges you toward more intense versions of what you already engage with. If fitness content holds your attention, you'll start seeing more extreme physiques. If wealth content hooks you, you'll be shown faster success and bigger lifestyles. If relationship content works, you'll see perfection or chaos, not normal, boring stability. The goal isn't to make you miserable. The goal is to keep you stimulated. But stimulation without relief turns into exhaustion. Over time, your baseline shifts. What once impressed you becomes normal. What once felt motivating starts feeling intimidating. And the algorithm keeps raising the bar because it has to work harder to hold your attention. This is why many people feel more insecure the longer they use Instagram, even if their lives are objectively improving. The platform isn't measuring your growth, it's measuring your engagement. And insecurity, quietly and consistently, produces more of it than peace ever could. That's why the algorithm prefers insecurity. Not because it hates you, but because it's optimized for attention, not well-being. And those two goals are rarely the same.